Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. Is Arsenal's quest for top four already over? We'll be talking about that and all the latest football news on this week's Premier League preview. Also as well, exciting news, Football Manager career mode starts tomorrow. There's a little bit of groundwork that needs to go in, all the pre-season and stuff and all that, but we'll be good to go tomorrow lunchtime live, so join us for that. Make sure you've subscribed and got your notifications on. But let's straight into this. The Arsenal versus Manchester City without any question of a doubt is the game of the weekend. Liverpool are jetting off for their World Cup club competition, which they'll probably win. Their last game until I think Boxing Day it is actually, against Watford at home on Saturday lunchtime. Breezy win. They'll breeze through that one, I would expect, even though Watford have tightened up with Nigel Pearson as manager. And Arsenal Man City is the big game. We'll be talking about lots of others as well. But in relation to Arsenal, is it fair to say that Arsenal's top four quest is already over? Of course it's not. But I do not see the quality in this Arsenal team to get top four this season. I don't. I mean, where they could, they like sixth, don't they? And as a United fan, I shouldn't take the mickey out of them too much. But look at their next four fixtures. They've got Man City at home, Everton and Bournemouth away, and then Chelsea at home, then Manchester United at home. 5 big games for Arsenal, and I think if they come out of those 5 games with any less than 10 points, then I think they're going to find themselves pretty far adrift, even from the top 6. It's a massive period between now and New Year for Arsenal, and I just don't think they're equipped for it. I don't think Arsenal are equipped for it. I'll talk about why in a moment, but let me just play you this on the subject of Arsenal. Give this a listen.
If Manchester City of last season played Arsenal's 2003-4 Invincible squad, you lot are getting battered off the park.
City Centurions against Arsenal's Invincibles. Who wins? Check out the link in the video description to check out the full argument/debate between those two there. Link in the video description. I've left my comments on there. What I would say is, without saying who I think comes out on top out of those two, one of them's got a Yorkie Rapper Premier League gold, and the other one did do very, very well, Manchester City, of course. But what I would say is this. I think Arsenal 98 team would beat both of them. And a lot of people, this is not to do with that. So check the link in the video description and get on there. But, I was arguing with Arsenal fans the other day about this. I'm old enough to remember every Premier League year. I'm old. I know the Premier League. I know what the best teams in the Premier League are. And the Arsenal 98 Premier League side is better than your Invincibles. Your Invincibles drew 12 games. They basically got to a point where they were playing not to lose because they wanted to be Invincibles. The Arsenal 98 side was better than the Invincibles. Goalkeepers, Lehmann or Seaman? Seaman was better. Back four, alright, Campbell, Loren, who else did they have? Ashley Cole was fantastic, and I forget who played centre-back with Sol Campbell. But you're up against Tony Adams, Nigel Winterbird, Lee Dixon. Even if you want to say that's a draw, I wouldn't. I think the 98 one's better. 98 midfield is definitely better. You've got Vieira and Petit, who just won the World Cup. And then you've got Overmars and Ray Parlour. The Invincibles midfield, as I remember it, was an older Vieira with Gilberto, who was decent, Pires and Lundberg. Definitely Petit and Vieira in their prime were just immense, and Overmars was brilliant. And then up front, well, Bergkamp played for both teams. I think he was better in 98, and obviously Henry was probably the best of anything they had. But Wrighton and Elka weren't bad in 98. So I think the 98 team was, and I saw them both, and that was the one I was more scared of as a United fan. So that's my opinion on that. But check out the link in the video description on Centurions against the Invincibles. I've got a very easy answer for that. You can see it in the comments of that video. But let's bring it back here. Let's bring it back to current Arsenal. Well, look, I don't think Lundberg's a good manager for Arsenal. And as a United fan, I totally take it on the chin that a lot of rival fans will say, well, neither Solskjaer for United. And hence, that might be the problem. But I think at least Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in and for 3 months looked unbeatable. Lundberg has come in and taken a point from Norwich, been beaten by Brighton at home. All right, he beat West Ham, but West Ham was so bad at the back. I think Arsenal's problem is they need to get a manager in now, but apparently they don't have enough money, and also the targets that they want. Ancelotti's available. I know a lot of Arsenal fans don't want him, but as a United fan, if Solskjaer left, I'd be very happy with Ancelotti. I think the perfect fit for Arsenal is Arteta, and if they could get Arteta in, it would be interesting. It's not a good time to be changing your manager really at Christmas unless you're going to get that instant bounce or you're going to get a really good manager in. And I think Spurs will suffer results that they don't like between now and the summer, because I think Mourinho will do exactly what Ollie did. Came in around Christmas time and will say, as long as we're doing okay, I will be judged next season. And I think that's what will happen with Mourinho and Spurs. But Arsenal, I'm quite surprised with Arsenal. They got rid of Emery, and I felt that they were almost forced to get rid of Emery before they wanted to. I think Emery was meant to be there till the summer, and then they were going to make a change. But then there was so much Emery out stuff going on from the fans that they made that move, and I think they tried to replicate what United did with Ljungberg and Solskjaer, and it's not going to go that way. So I do feel that Arsenal are out of the top 4 race, and this may well come back and bite me on the backside, but I do. I think they're out of the top 4 race. I know they're only 2 points off Manchester United at the moment, but United are in 5th, so that's irrelevant. In relation to top 4, they're currently they're only 7 points off Chelsea in 4th. But I think it's all about what's going to happen over the next 5 games. And if you come out New Year's Day and play Manchester United and you're 12, 15 points off 4th, it's gone. You need to be keeping it. That gap needs to start coming down at some point, and I just don't see Arsenal bringing it down, if I'm absolutely honest. I don't know what you lot think. Looking at the other fixtures from the weekend, Liverpool versus Watford is the first one, as I said. Easy 3 points for Liverpool there. Burnley, Newcastle. Some would say they're not interested, but Newcastle are doing very, very well at the moment, and Burnley a bit all over the place. I could see that being a draw. Chelsea, Bournemouth is interesting. Chelsea do need to get a result. I think Chelsea, some of the losses they've had recently, Everton and West Ham have, allowed teams like United and Spurs and maybe even Arsenal to think maybe we can get that top 4 spot. United are home to Everton this weekend, and Spurs have a hard game themselves. So Chelsea really do need to get 3 points against Bournemouth, and I expect them to do that. I'm going to go 2-0. Leicester Norwich is a good fixture for Leicester. Leicester have got 2 tough fixtures coming up. They've got Man City and they've got Liverpool coming up. So need to get the points there against Norwich, Leicester, and they're playing so well at the moment. I think Leicester will win that 2 or 3-0, to be honest with you. Sheffield United against Villa is an interesting one. Sheffield United still getting out the results, and Villa. Villa got smashed by Leicester last week, but did all right against United at Old Trafford. It's hard to know with that. I can see that being a draw. Southampton, West Ham, 5:30 kickoff. Don't worry, we're not doing a watch-along for that. West Ham need the results, but Southampton are much improved. I think if Southampton beat West Ham are in the bottom 3 and Pellegrini's gone, so it could be very interesting. I think Southampton will beat West Ham. I'm going to go 2-1 to Southampton. Sunday, Manchester United versus Everton. I'm going to go with the United win 2-0. I think over the years, Man United at home to Everton 2-0 was always a safe bet, so I'm going to stick with that. I think there's people expecting United to drop off after winning 2 really good games. Can they do it against the lesser teams? I think United have got to take 6 points from Everton at home and Watford away to show that they can do that, and I think they'll start off with Everton with a win. Wolves against Spurs is a big, big game for Mourinho. Not many teams go to Wolves and win, and Mourinho, has he had 3 wins in the Premier League and 1 loss with United, so this is a bit of a defining game. There is that opportunity to stay close to Chelsea for Spurs. I just think Wolves will get a point. Arsenal, Man City. I don't personally see any other result. I know some Arsenal fans are optimistic. I was talking to Flex the other day and he said, I can see Arsenal getting something. It's not impossible for Arsenal to get anything against Man City, and Man City's season is somewhat confused. They're out of a title race and it's only December. It's an embarrassing... I know they were going for 3 titles in a row, so to say this is a bit harsh, but it's an embarrassing defence of your Premier League title for it to be gone before Christmas. So Man City have got to try and find a mentality to get back into this game. But I feel if Arsenal got an early goal, Man City would fold again like they did against United. But if City are allowed to dictate the game, I think they could win it 2-3-1. So I'm going to go with the City win for there. And Monday night football is Palace versus Brighton, which for some reason answers on a postcard. Brighton and Palace just don't like each other. I don't know what it's all about. Is it Eagles against Seagulls? I don't know. But Palace have had a good season this season, and a win for them against Brighton would put them up on 25 points, which could take them up as high as 6th. So, and Brighton, they're a bit yo-yo themselves, but a win would put them level with Palace. So I think the draw is the logical result for Monday Night Football. Watch along this weekend. I'm thinking Man City against Arsenal. Put your money where your mouth is. That's the one I'm thinking of doing. I was going to do Saturday 3 o'clock games, but I think I will go with Man City Arsenal for the watch along, so make sure you join me for that. Make sure you join me for tomorrow for the Football Manager. That's going to start our first episode, Football Manager. Looking forward to that, very interactive. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and check out the 888 Sport Invincibles against the City Centurions. Who was the better team? Link in the video description. Pop over there and see what I've said in the comments. But thanks everyone for watching. I think as a whole, this Premier League weekend, Arsenal Man City is the obvious one. It's all about slip-ups really, isn't it? Can United get 3 points against Everton, or will they slip up again? Liverpool, easy points against Watford. They can't slip up, surely. Spurs away to Wolves, can they slip up? Chelsea against Bournemouth at home, can Chelsea slip up again? And 3 defeats in a row. And also the managerial merry-go-round continues, doesn't it? If Ljungberg loses, will they move him on? Pellegrini loses, he'll have to go. Everton, Duncan Ferguson, when United beat them, who are they going to bring in? It's interesting how Everton got rid of their manager and Arsenal got rid of their manager, and neither of them seems to have an immediate plan. And I think in the modern day, that can come back and hurt you. You know, if you're going to sack a manager, you should have someone lined up. And look at what Spurs did. Pellegrini one day, Mourinho the next day. And I think it helps with the stability of the club. But we'll have to wait and see. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video.